Hey guys, RC Peck here with my weekend podcast, and I want to come out from behind the computer in front of the camera and just connect with you on this Memorial Day weekend. I've been hearing a lot about the fear and the doom and the gloom and what's going on in North Korea, and I want to point out a couple things to you because it's a way to bring just an incredible amount of clarity into your finances and your investing. And so the first thing I've been hearing over and over is like World War III is apparently starting because of like some young North Korean dude with a bad haircut who got educated in Switzerland who now wants to nuke the world. And so if little Kim is actually going to nuke the world, I believe that it's going to show up first in the South Korean stock market index. And you can actually go look this up yourself. This is either that's the ticker symbol for the Kospi, and if that doesn't work, then you can just put in South Korea Seoul Composite Index, and you'll be able to see a price chart of that. And now, if you don't want to go do that, that's fine, because what you're going to see is that index hitting a lifetime high. So planet Earth's been around 5.5 billion years, and never in the entire history of planet Earth has the South Korean stock market been any higher than it is now. So the reason that's important is because there are tens of millions or hundreds of millions of people who are investing in the South Korean stock market. And look, it doesn't mean just because it hit new lifetime highs that there's a 0% chance of a World War III nuclear war with little Kim. But man, if there's going to be a place that shows up that shows us that something bad's going to go down, I'm willing to bet it's going to start showing up in that local stock market, and it's not showing up. So if you ever get concerned or fearful about gloom and doom, my suggestion is go look at a price chart to tell you what possibly is really going on. The other thing I've been hearing a lot lately is this idea of having a plan B. And I put this little price chart together for you because one thing I've noticed over the last almost 20 years is people who don't want a plan A or people who don't have a plan A, they're the same people that want a plan B. So what I've noticed is people who want a plan B are people who have really made a lot of mistakes, which isn't the same as having a plan B that didn't work out. Most people don't even have a plan A. So if you are getting fearful or if you're reading really good marketing coming out of the Pick of the Month newsletter world about plan Bs and about moving to Nicaragua or Argentina or Panama or some sort of third world country south of the border, my suggestion is first stop and say, do I even have a plan A? And just so you guys know, not planning anything is not a plan A. Not ever scheduling or being organized, that is not a plan A. A plan A is where you actually put a plan together, you look at it, you set it in motion, you make adjustments. What I've noticed is people who have plan A's and implement them, they don't go looking for plan B's. And the people who do have plan B's, they usually have a net worth over $10 million, and many times it's a net worth over $50 million, and they're basically saying, hey, I want to get some of my net worth out of the US. Totally get that. But until you have a plan A or your net worth is over $10 million, my suggestion is to get a plan A and not start working on a plan B. Now, I got one more thing I want to show you, and it's four numbers that when they put together, it'll make sense to you. But I want you to do a little homework this weekend on this Memorial Day weekend. And what I want you to do, if you live in the US, I want you to go Google the year in review of 1968, or put 1968 year in review. And I just want you to go look at that year and see all the stuff that went down in that year. And the reason I bring up 1968 is because I've heard lately that people are concerned about what's going on and the debt crisis and who's leading the country or who's not leading the country, what our Congress is or is not doing. And 1968 is a good year to just to go look at and say, okay, let's see, Bobby Kennedy was assassinated, okay, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, okay, so those are two really big name people, but more importantly, they were true thought leaders. And I actually don't think we've had someone like that since really probably Ronald Reagan, who came onto the national scene in 1980, is it 80 or 82? But really since him, there hasn't been a national figure. And so You know, we don't even have those people today, and in 1 year, two of them were assassinated. Now, to make this even worse, prior to 1968, we had our president assassinated in 1963. We had a Bay of Pigs incident, true kind of nuclear war, World War III. And so it would be good to go back and just look at what was going on pre and post 1968, after it, 5 years after 1968, 5 years, 6 years after, you had our vice president in this country resign, get replaced with the Speaker of the House, and then you had the leader of the country resign too. So the United States is very resilient. Developed countries are very resilient, and really look at where this fear is coming from. Is it coming from true fear, like someone is chasing you? Or is it coming from, things you're reading in the Pick of the Month newsletter world? And my belief is it's coming from things in the Pick of the Month newsletter world, and that's really what you're getting fearful about. So go look up 1968. Just look at the pain that this country went through that year and pre and post that year. Think about people, well, if you're thinking that you should have a plan B, really ask yourself, do you even have a plan A? Which is, again, different from I never planned anything and it didn't work out. And then lastly, if you really are worried about little Kim and his explosives, then go look up the South Korean stock market index. And that is going to be one of those early warning signs that tells us something bad is happening. I want to wish everyone a safe, here in the United States, it's a long weekend. So have a safe Memorial Day weekend. I thank you so much for being in my world and supporting what I do and love. And if you find yourself stuck or needing help, now's the time to reach out and say, RC, you know what? I think I need some help. Okay, guys, you take care of yourself, and this is just another step in helping you protect your portfolio and your future. Until next time, this is RC Peck. Bye, guys.